He's gonna die.
Shut up, dude.
On the battlefield, there's only you and your mates. All you've got are your mates.
She'll be back.
Hey, Jeffrey, how you going?
I'm doing great, Kiah. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm about to release my giant shark movie, so I'm very happy.
Dude, I am a huge Jaws fan, first of all. It's my favorite movie
Yeah,
of
me
all
too.
time. So, I mean, this just combines elements of World War II, Jaws, thriller, horror. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything, man. So you did it. You pulled it off. It's pretty cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah, the way I make films is usually just to throw everything that I can think of into a pot. So nobody's ever accused me of, narrative subtlety.
Oh no, it's a wild roller coaster ride. It's just I applaud you. And World War II, Australia, 1942. I love at the beginning you put inspired by actual events. So
Yeah.
you really play with history, don't you? It's a little interpretation.
Yeah, I actually wasn't going to do that. And, I sort of got together, I organized my director's cut and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to put that at the start. And then I got another editor in. Me and Reg Squarco had done the initial cut, which everybody was quite happy with. And then we got this new editor in, a guy called Steve Evans. And like, I wanted to try and do another recut that I wanted it to have a certain tone poem flow. I don't want to sound too pretentious, but I just wanted it to kind of flow in a way that was like a nightmare. I mean, these guys are starving to death and dying of thirst and like they go into a delirium, and I wanted it to kind of feel like this kind of living nightmare. And after we'd done that edit, I sort of got to the end and I went, actually, this is feeling a little bit more mature. We really locked into the character of Leo. And I felt after that re-edit that we earned the right to put inspired by real events at the start, not based on, because, I mean, real guys went through that and it was horrific, and it would be disrespectful to turn that into a roller coaster, which is what we did. But I think inspired by, I think we earned that. So, yeah.
And also it's character driven as well. It's just not, a rogue shark, attacking people. I mean, I loved how you had established the characters, and which, I think is important in this journey because, to have some sort of feelings for them.
Yeah, if it's just a rogue shark attacking people, then it's just a B movie. And like everybody loves that, but like you'll watch it and you'll just forget it and then you just go on to the next popcorn extravaganza. But if you want to make something that has resonance, like it has to be character driven. And that's why it was really important for me to start with a good, 15, 20-minute sequence showing the training of these boys in the jungles of Darwin before they went off to war, so that you can see who they are, what their arcs are going to be, who they are at their core as people. And you've got to see them bond as a unit, so that when they all end up trapped on that raft for, days at a time, you know who they are. And they're a group that you, hopefully, if you've done, your job right, that you care for, who is the flawed hero and who is, the reluctant young guy who, will he become will he go from being a boy to being a man, who the racist bully is, these guys all sort of fall into an archetype. And hopefully they've bonded, you've bonded with them, and then you care when they start to die.
Now that works for the characters, but does that also go for your cast? Did you send them to soldier boot camp? I mean, and you had to get that chemistry right. When did you notice that?
Right away. When you've got a bunch of actors, male actors, who get to put on soldier uniforms and play soldier, they immediately lock in and they know what, they're like, yeah, we know what the assignment is. And they bond immediately, and they're running around with guns in uniforms, and they got the helmets, and they're loving it. They're like, we're in Platoon. We're making a war movie. They love it. But we got a lovely guy called John, who actually had worked with Dale Dye, who did all of the drill sergeant instructing on, films like Platoon and, Thin Red Line. I mean, he's a legend. So he immediately came in and put them through their paces and immediately started yelling at them. And he made them jump into a pool in full uniform with their boots on and just start doing laps. And some of the guys were a bit older. It's like they were puffing and wheezing and freaking out. And the young blokes were just like, oh my God, like this is going to be brutal. And they all bonded through pain. inflicted on them by their sort of faux drill sergeant. So it was fun to see them turn into soldiers, you know?
Now, of course, Spielberg is famous for shooting Jaws on the open sea. You know, learned a horrible
Yeah.
lesson. Never
Yeah.
returned to Martha's Vineyard. Obviously, yours was shot in a sound stage, but you're still shooting on water. So, what are the
Yeah.
challenges of just having your actors wet every day, cold and hungry, and just I mean, it's just even you're in a controlled environment, it still wasn't an easy shoot, was it?
No, and we had some of the best stunties and stunt coordinators in Queensland working on it. So safety was really important because you can drown in like 60 seconds. You know what I mean? If you get water in the lungs, like you're dead. Like, and so yeah, it was very important for us to cast people who were strong swimmers. And so a lot of the guys did their own stunts. Like Mark Goldsmith did all of his own stunts. Like that guy's a unit, and he's a very strong swimmer himself. And yeah, it is a controlled environment, so it's a lot safer than shooting out on the open water or in Martha's Vineyard like Spielberg. And we only had 5 weeks to shoot in the tank, and so it's like we had to shoot fast. So it's hard to do fast and safe, but like having a sort of big heated pool that isn't too deep. I think at its deepest section, it was like 2 meters. So it's just above the head. So you can kind of jump and like, get some air. But still, it's very difficult, especially when you're shooting, the sinking of the warship sequence where basically, it's nighttime, there's fire all over the place. Visibility is really difficult. There's debris all around them, and there's bits of rope and bits of sort of debris jutting out everywhere, and like the visibility is zero. Fog, like the whole room is filled with fog. You can't see more than 6 or 7 meters in front of you, and you got lights and cameras and explosions and stuff going on. Like that's really dangerous to shoot in that environment. And Mark's dragging this poor 20-year-old young actor Joel Nankervis through the water. He's pretending to be dead. Yeah, it's pretty full on stuff, and like there's not too many tricks that go into that. Like everything you see, we just shot it. Like, so anything that anybody did, they just did it, So it's one of those films that I'm really proud of in that it's all practical. Like the shark is a real animatronic shark. The actors are going through their paces, like they're all swimming around and freaking out and, being yanked left to right by ropes, pulled underwater. And like, yeah, it was,
a lot of Jaws
pretty full on.
influence there. A lot of Jaws. I love it. Even the buoy, I noticed, it looks a little like the opening of Jaws that was in the water.
Oh yeah, it's all influenced by
Great
Jaws,
nod.
and
Great
even
nod.
the idea of having the guy stabs like a broken air raid siren into the side of the shark, so that as the siren drags through the water, it makes a screaming sound. That was me trying to do the yellow barrels. I'm like, there has to be a visual reference or an oral reference, for the shark when you can't see it. Spielberg had that brilliant idea of showing the barrel, so you knew where the shark was even when it was underwater. And so we had the idea to have this broken air raid siren lodged into the shark, so that as it circled them in the night, it would make this screaming, howling noise, like the Hound of the Baskervilles,
Yes.
in the fog. So it turned into this sort of gothic, horror movie. And that's just me trying to do Spielberg. Yeah.
I love it. I noticed all of that. Trust me. And was there many discussions on the look and the design of the shark? Because look at that. It's truly terrifying. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted it to be very monstrous. So, like, I
Mhm.
wanted it to feel like, a bulldog that's had too many, drunken fights in, pub car parks. So, like, it's got scar tissue all over its face. Like, it's had a fight with a propeller blade, and like half of its eyes ripped out. So it's got like the grey eye that, looks like an evil pirate. And so when that face came looming up out of the dark waters and explodes towards you, I wanted you to feel like, oh my God, not only is that a shark, that's the scariest goddamn shark I've ever seen.
I
And people were
agree.
joking, it's like, it's zombie shark, and it kind of does look a little bit like a zombie,
It does.
But yeah, I wanted it to be mythically monstrous and not just kind of realistic,
And all your hard work, Melbourne Film Festival. I mean, what was it like seeing it with an audience for the first time? Did they jump and react the way you expected? Were there some surprises?
Oh man, it was just like pure cream. I loved it. Because you get very close to it. I honestly, I just didn't know what we had. I'm like, did I mess this up? Like, did I make a good film? Like, I don't even know anymore. And then you sit down in an audience, and like literally, sort of within 5 minutes, I'm like, oh, we've got them. Like, I don't know how, but we've got them, and they're on the ride. and they moaned and groaned and screamed and laughed and cried in all the right places. And I was just like, oh, wow, yeah, like this works with an audience, you know. And it's being released pretty soon. It's coming out in Australia in October 9 in theaters. And I hope people come, you know, because to see this on a big screen with an audience, it's a very interactive roller coastery movie. And it's the sort of thing, it's so much more fun if you experience it with a crowd, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, watching it at MIF, I was really, yeah, it worked. And then the reviews came out the next day, and some of the harshest Australian film critics were like, "This is a good film," and I'm just like, "Thank God," because you spend years on this stuff, and like I just didn't want to embarrass myself in the shadow of Jaws. You know, I'm like, just let me make a halfway decent shark film. You know, that's all I want.
Well, congratulations. You did more than a halfway decent. It was fantastic. I appreciate your time. I wish you all the best of luck, and let's talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Jeffrey. I've really enjoyed this chat. Thanks for interviewing me.